Okay, so Tom Holmoe told us yesterday in his Jafar costume, as he was sitting in that seat,
very serious content,
that he's more proud of this specific BYU women's soccer team than a lot of teams. And that's saying something. He doesn't hand out those compliments often. But I think he was obviously talking about everything you've overcome. So how has it been for you? Because you've coached 2 College Cup teams and you've been in a national championship game.
Right.
But this team has overcome. So how's it been for you?
Yeah, you know, it's been quite a journey coming into the season. We knew that we'd, you know, be young and inexperienced and you know, not having 13 players from last year's Final Four team, we knew that, you know, we had a lot of work ahead of us. And as we went through the season, you know, losing 6 more starters through injuries and season-ending injuries.
It's insane.
That's not something you expect. We've been a pretty healthy team for the last 5-6 years. So these girls have really had to deal with the adversity. We've had to change a lot of positions. People have had to move from different positions, and some of them positions they've never played before. And so they've been really resilient, adaptable. They've been learning as they go, and they've really come together. You know, you learn more about yourself and about your team through those adverse challenges that you see, and we've had our fair share of them and have come through on the other side playing better than before. So it's been fun.
How did it not go south? Because there was a minute where it wasn't looking good. It wasn't the standard, but this team overcame, and now you're got a bye in the tournament. You got a huge win against Texas Tech in the last minute that probably got you into the tourney. We'll ask you about that in a second. But how did it not go that way? How did you keep it together to reinforce this season and get probably back to the tournament again?
Yeah, well, one thing is we had a very, you know, the second toughest non-conference schedule in the country. So I didn't do the team any favors by putting them in those situations. But through those, you know, we were in every game. We played, I think, 5 or 6 top 25, 20 actually teams and a couple top 10 teams, and we're in every game. And so as we came out of the non-conference, even though our win-loss wasn't what it's used to being, our RPI was still higher than a lot of teams who were 9-1. And so I think that helped the girls realize that, hey, we're still in the mix to accomplish all the goals that we set out for, even though we haven't won as many games as we typically. And you know, they dealt with a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to come into this program and do what they've been doing. So they've learned how to do that. They've come together as a team. We've had some great leaders. Up top with Ali Fryer, who's scoring some great goals for us. In the back with Avery Frischneck, who's really been a leader, especially with the loss of our 2 captains. So we have 2 captains that aren't even on the field for us right now. And so just a lot of growth. A lot of our young players have stepped up, and we're not inexperienced anymore. You know, we've played a really tough schedule, tougher than most any team in the country, and we've come through on the other side, and we're playing the best soccer and ready for the Big 12 tourney.
You know, I said when the season began to BYU fans, look, if this team has a winning record, considering everything that's going on, this would be a massive accomplishment.
And looking at the schedule, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're 8-5-5. I mean, you've blown my expectations out of the water, you know?
Yep.
And that hopeful prognostication. So, and you cap it with a win at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
What did that win do for your team as you enter postseason play?
Well, certainly it was a very special win. We had just coming off, you know, we've put games together, maybe not a full 90, right, as you call it. And so when we played our last home game on Southfield against Houston, we felt like it was a full 90. And we'd seen glimpses of it all season in different areas. And Texas Tech, one of the best defensive teams in the country, hadn't lost a game in like 2 seasons. And we went in with confidence, knowing that if we played well and that we were getting better, that we could get it done. And we didn't give up, and we put it all together. A huge win for us to give us more confidence. It could have helped us for an at-large in the NCAA, another top 50 RPI win. And if anything else, it just shows us that we can be successful against any team in the conference going into the tournament. And so it's really exciting to see. It gave us a bye, and we finished 4th place out of 16 teams, which is, I'm really proud of this group, proud of the staff, how we've all come together to have a very successful season considering all of the things we've been through.
Can we get a better sorting tool than RPI?
Yes, you know.
Can we work on that, please?
I hate RPI. RPI sucks.
We like it when it benefits us.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't like it when it doesn't.
So antiquated. It's literally 43 years old. We can come up with something better, right?
For sure.
You know, this tough schedule, this team. I dare another college soccer team. Go ahead and lose 13 players, 9 starters. See if you can't be a top 4 team in your Big 12. Come on. Okay, Oklahoma State tomorrow. Early game.
Yes.
When are you guys leaving, and what's it going to take to beat the Cowgirls?
Yeah, earlier than we thought. Found out at 11 yesterday that they've moved it up to 9 a.m.
Hooray!
Which
And
is,
you had travel plans that don't
yeah,
accommodate
travel
that
plans.
time?
Yeah, probably would be very different. Some things you can't control, so we'll be, getting up at 6:30, which will be 5:30 our time, ready for our game. But they're having weather challenges and want to
Like last year.
Yeah, just like last year. Try and get through the tournament. There's 4 games tomorrow. So, Oklahoma State's a team that we played very well against here on Southfield. We ended up in a tie, but statistically and performance-wise, we played very well. So that should give us some good confidence going into the game. And at this point, you just have to play better. You have to play better. You have to play harder. You got to want it more than your opponent. Because anything can happen. They came from behind. They scored 3 goals in the last 15 minutes. To beat Cincinnati.
Saw that.
They were down 0-2, so they're riding on a high right now. But we hope to go in and set the tone nice and early that we want to take control of the game and have good results.
What's the breakfast item of choice to help you wake up?
Oh, I don't know. I don't eat breakfast. The girls all have different stuff, so.
No breakfast.
Not for me. I get a little too nervous on game days. I try and be careful, and then I eat a lot afterwards if we win or lose.
Do you and I share some things in common?
Yeah.
And in Kansas City, there's a lot of good options, which is great. Okay, do you feel like you're in a good position to get an at-large if you don't win the Big 12 tournament? How are you feeling right now?
It's hard to say. You never know. I mean, we don't have very many wins, right? But our wins are good wins against good teams. We have played a challenging schedule. I know they look at what you're trying to do in the non-conference, and we certainly went out and tried to get some good results. Our RPI is in bubble range for sure. I think we're at 34 right now. I think if we win, if we can get a result against Oklahoma State, another good RPI team, I think that would be enough. But you never know. We always set out to win a conference championship no matter what the situation is. So that's still our goal this year.
That's the way to ensure you're in.
Yeah.
Win that.
Just win the Big 12 tournament.
Just win the Big 12 tournament. That's all we got to do. That's the plan.
Control your own destiny.
That's what we like.
What type of team is Oklahoma State style-wise?
They're a mixture of some possession, but yet some direct play. They've got good athletes. They have girls who are technical and can be dangerous. They do like to serve in behind, so a little bit more direct. And we've played a lot of direct teams. We've seen a lot of different looks, a lot of different formations, and so I think that has prepared us very well. They've got a great keeper. They don't play out of the back, so our press is something that's been super effective for us. Our press probably won't be as big a factor, but we're going to have to be committed to being physical and winning those first and second balls because their keeper can punt as far as any keeper I've ever seen. So we'll have to be committed to win balls in that sense.
We're going to get some melatonin on the way out of the studio, so you can get nice early bedtime.
Up that in at 7 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, we'll get in and have to go right to bed.
Well, melatonin, some BYU Sports Nation karma.
Yes, love it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Let's go. Let's go. Thanks,
Jen,
guys.
thanks for hanging
Thanks,
out
Jen.
with us.